Tschirgi, and haven't streamed in a while, getting back into it. Going to be doing Batman Returns, as we see, for the NES. This was a late period NES game, and I'm running around as Batman. This came out, way after the movie. One of the last movie games for the NES out there. I had the Super Nintendo one, which was I could beat it in every difficulty at the time except for the hardest one. Which now going back, that one's really hard. I've heard this is secretly the best game. I've never played it that much. So let's see what happens. I know you beat up a lot of clowns and Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer as Penguin and Catwoman, respectively. This one did not license music from the movie like the SNES one did. See those little clowns? And I like the real estate here. That's kind of different. You go and you go around, you're punching these guys. Ah, there we go. Nice, better. Great. So if you want to chat or something, feel free, and I'll be happy to answer whatever questions you might have. Trying to do this more often. I like the retro stuff. It's a good way to wind down. Because I do work for games by day, but it's not, it's not retro, and I think it's a good kind of separation. And sometimes you can learn, game mechanics and stuff too from playing old games. And I just miss that you used to have all these movies here, right? It had all these games based off of movies. And now, if you get it, it's like a $20 rainbow skin in Fortnite or Mortal Kombat or something. So it's just not quite the same. You could play the movie, that was a selling point. Believe it or not, ooh, a machine gun. That's something different. I wonder if this game was originally developed for the Game Boy because of the characters being so small. I do like it makes the scale, it makes the buildings look massive, but it's also a limitation of the NES, I guess, with sprites, at least ones that can move around a lot. Love that neon orange look of that clown. That's pretty cool. Looks like an old amber computer monitor. Check something 1 second. Okay, let's go. Uh-oh, we got the fat clowns. These were big enemies, and they took a lot of hits in the Super Nintendo version. And a lot of throwing, which I don't think you really have in this game. You can just do the uppercuts. You can do the... Ooh, that's useful. Yeah, if you do down and jump, you can slide them. Cheese that all day, man. And so notice these graphics kind of crumble a bit. And the reasoning for that is it's just the NES couldn't handle a lot of overlapping stuff, so it would just kind of glitch out. These guys are neon pink. That's kind of fun. Yay! So, I mean, the plot basically takes you through half the movie in the opening cutscene. I sort of skipped that because a bit limited for time here, but it is just pretty neat to that they'd started so late in the story. But you want it when stuff is chaotic, right? Because Batman Returns doesn't have as good of a story, really, or as much action as that first Batman movie, or the first Tim Burton one, I should say. So, I mean, you gotta Batman Return is weird, right? It's more of a Tim Burton movie than a Batman movie, and but still they had to make video games out of it, so it may not resemble Batman so much. I think that's why I like it, though. It's kind of Tim Burton got a lot of money to do something really weird, and I don't think the studio comic book pictures are a lot more homogenous nowadays for the most part. Again, really smart use of color. Purple, magenta, all these things. And, you can see this reflection, and you're on the ice. It's not the water, but that's a nice effect. All the shading up here in the rebar thing is pretty neat. Yeah, so you get the presents because it's the motif of the clown stuff going on. And I should have seen if it's a hot dog or something new. It's always weird things to eat in these games, right? You do slide a little bit in the ice, but it's not terrible. It's a good compromise. Gotham Plaza, the battle in front of the plaza. Oh, it's a boss, and he's throwing. They love the color pink. That's nice on the Christmas tree in the background. See how it just goes between the different colors. That sucked, but that's a good rendition of a Michael Keaton Batman. It doesn't look like you have limited continues, or do you? Don't know. Have to start at level 1-1. That sucks. You just have, well, one life, it looked like, right? Yeah, so I'll try not to get hit as often, although I don't think I got hit at all. The motorcycle guy I'll watch out for. Give it another go. You know, I loved this genre of games as a kid. It's called beat 'em ups. Now I find them kind of tedious, which is why I like picking kind of like the movie tie-ins because I know a lot about movies and I can talk about that as I'm talking about games. If you like what you're watching, please do follow me, drop a follow, click the follow button, and that would be greatly appreciated. Look at the grain, look at the grain. I mean, that's sort of fun that the clowns just die when you hit go with a boom sound all the way across the screen. That's a bit different. The machine gun's a high-pitched whine. And I do have full HP. I almost said HP like a note in England or something. What do I think about the new Batman movie that's just called The Batman? I read some of the comic. I think it's taken some inspiration from The Long Halloween, and it's a interesting story. I'm a bit worried they have Penguin and the Riddler. The Batman movies always tend to double up on the villains, and it never quite works out. One always gets the short shrift, whether it's Two-Face in The Dark Knight or Joker, right? So, considering all of that, then what are we going to do? With the Batman movie, we heard it's like almost 3 hours long. Has Catwoman in it? Is it going to be kind of like an overarching story like Nolan did? Or are they going to be a bunch of one-offs? I wonder how much of a picture deal did Robert Pattinson sign, right? These are all things I wonder about in my spare time. And like Batman, with that being said, I haven't read that much of the comics. I've read a few. I've read a lot of books on the history of comics, but I need to actually spend more time reading the comics itself to be more of a subject matter expert on these things. Man, when you slide, that's such a fast move, dude. That purple and white is kind of neat, and I love these faces on the Gothic architecture. That is weird that I couldn't just pick up where level 1-2 began. I had to start all the way from 1-1. So I imagine if I get to like level 2-2 and die, I had to start off 2-1 again, or all the way back at 1-1. These are all, cheap tactics that these games tended to do. Nice. These guys did a lot of damage in the SNES version too. The SNES version has really beautiful graphics, but the gameplay is not as fast as on this one. And everything was kind of chunky, which gives it a nice sense of weight with Batman when you're smacking people into windows and stuff. But I digress. I don't. Ironically, it's kind of weird we never got movies. Ironic's not the right word, but it's just although one was under development and they recorded extra voiceover for it, a Batman, or excuse me, the Dark Knight game never came out. It was in parts of development and it got canceled. Um, and on top of that, there was a Batman Begins game that was kind of like the last gasp of these sort of movie games. It wasn't kind of a mixture of like beat 'em up like this, but also like puzzle. It wasn't like a pure arcade thing. I mean, these sound effects have a nice punch to them. Boo 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 boo. There we go. Be nice if you could throw them into each other, but you can't. There you go. Fingers crossed. I'm at full health this time. Just trying not to get cheesed by the jabroni. And well, that's it. Okay. That's the time to beat him up is when he gets tired. He does a hell of a lot of damage, dude. Oh, and I can do that move right. If you do attack and jump at the same time, you do this, but it eats up some of your energy too. Fuck it, I'll just do this. No! I have to start all over again, aren't I? Shit. I'll keep going to a hit half an hour, I think. If I get good enough to beat the first boss. Youch. The way these clowns look a bit blue, I wonder if they're secretly working for or not Doctor, Mr. Freeze. Come on, get him. So more of the clown dude walking around. Hit him in the kneecap, and he kind of boops across the other end of the stage. It's a nice thoosh. So yeah, I think I'll try this cheesing the sliding on the guy, because I can't just seem to get close to him, and he does a hell of a lot of damage. Or when I say guy, I mean the boss. What was the first movie-related game I played? It was probably the Batman on NES, so not this one, but the one from Sunsoft. That was a bit like Ninja Gaiden, where you're jumping back and forth from walls to walls. Right, so that does not like these clown sprites. These are the most glitchy, kind of fading in and out stuff I've ever seen. It's too bad, too bad. Hey, come on. All right. Remember, must be near the end of this level because of those faces on the ionic columns. Or the Doric. I don't quite remember my architecture phraseology. There you go. What else is a good Batman thing? Let me think. Oh, now we got. Damn it. Kill these guys again. Yeah, in the Super Nintendo game, I think these guys jump, and if you hit them just right, they'll die in one hit. Otherwise, they'll just come back again somewhat randomly on the screen. I think you can skip them if you want. It's not like this where they keep on doing all these. Oh, my neck's so stiff today. All these different moves. There you go. You did have still bad guys, I think, on the SNES version. It's just, the sprites were probably maybe twice as high, 2.5 times as high, and 2 times as wide. So it's just the whole thing felt like it was an extreme close up, and it made it difficult, in fact, for the platforming segments. I should try the Atari Lynx version of this as a stream sometimes. I've heard that one was a big pack-in game and one of the rare, uh, decent games on that system. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's not lose. Not gonna work. Oh, I should jump to get away. That's probably it. If you try to jump towards it, he cheeses that with his kind of whirly-gig move. Damn it. Well, fine. Let's do one more try. I'm going to be haunted by that image of Nicholson, aren't I? Keaton, excuse me. I mean, you can see how repetitive these games are. And in an arcade, I think that works better because A, the graphics were much better in the arcade back then. You can have, bigger things that are typically more bloody and more violent things to distract you. And yet, when you play these games at home, it's because you can continue and you have more lives and stuff. You find out, A, they're pretty short. Most of these kind of games you can beat in under half an hour. And that's not even trying to speedrun it or anything, because they're made to on some level they're made to gobble quarters and be kind of cheap. So there we go. I'm forgetting these guys have guns. But this game is pretty fair about these health pickups, I would say. Pretty fair indeed. That's nice background animation right here. Look at these windows, right? You get that kind of nice shading going on. It gives it a sense of depth that you wouldn't get normally in a NES game. And because this was like a late NES game, right? The artist and the programmers and stuff had really mastered the craft and knew how to get everything out of that system. Come on, you little guys. Big guys, rather. More of these guys. I'm quite skinny. Kind of wish they had more different attacks. I mean, they're recoloring the same sprites, which is common in these games. So you can make essentially one clown enemy and then change the highlights. In this case, purple or pink or whatever it is, and they look like different enemies, kind of, right? It's a way to get more mileage out of the limited graphical space, storage space rather, on the or flash memory, whatever they used in the cartridges. Damn skeletons. Becomes really fast on the next one. Damn it. I'm losing it. No. It is cool when he pops a wheelie, but still. Shit. Really, this part's kicking my ass? Ugh. It is a good kind of like face of the skeleton as he dies. Yeah, no difficulty selection. These games didn't tend to have them. sure to give me a follow. That always helps with the statistics and stuff. I hope to make affiliate. That'd be fun. I need to, I think do this on a more regular basis. It would be part of it. And I could see me doing this, like once a week, maybe twice, but is that enough to, be affiliate and make it worth it for people to come watch you do stuff? Or, I don't think so, but it might be for, some people. I like to do podcasting. I like to write books. There's a lot of stuff I like to do. But here we go. Do 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 do. Okay, fingers crossed. Hope I don't die this time. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna tap out for the night. Nice. Come on. No. Are you kidding me? One. I think that's enough of that. You get the idea. Batman Returns NES. Hope you're doing more streaming later. Be sure to give me a follow if you like this. Add twitch.tv dash mattwbt, matwbt, and go to my Twitter, twitter.com/sequel slash matwbt. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.